I died of cervical cancer. My husband had bought me an insurance policy long before. With the money I earned with my life, he married my best friend. After I died, my bones turned to dust, while he was enjoying his wedding night, but I was reborn. I sat and watched my best friend and my husband turn on each other. My best friend, holding a knife, roared, "Go to hell." My husband curled up into a ball and passed out. My best friend committed suicide in prison. Full of hatred. I plotted secretly. My husband was beaten until he was completely disabled. He groveled and even said to me, "Thank you. You're really such a good wife of mine. Even after you died, you left me such a huge fortune." Ha ha ha. Cain's wanton laughter echoed in my ears, and my heart was filled with resentment and hatred. The overwhelming anger made me open my eyes, but the scene in front of me left me confused. "You're awake." What I saw when I opened my eyes was the back of a young doctor. "Yeah, where am I?" I propped myself up. "And Saturday you've forgotten. Your company came for a physical examination, and then you fell asleep. You've been asleep for 2 hours already." Physical examination. I felt a surge of joy in my heart. Could it be that I was reborn? I quickly looked at my left hand. It was bare, with nothing on it. I wasn't married to that scumbag yet. Thank goodness. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. The male doctor turned around. When I saw his face, I was overjoyed. "Senior. Why is it you, Senior Ryan? Here to do the next examination for you." Ryan was all serious. I quickly glanced at the examination form. "The next examination is with..." My voice trailed off. Senior Ryan had a solemn look on his face. "Lie down. I'm a professional." I just felt my face getting hotter and hotter. I wanted to run. It was so embarrassing. But Senior Ryan's tone brooked no argument. "Don't you believe in my professionalism?" I shook my head vigorously. "You can treat me like a stranger if it's too embarrassing because we know each other." I steeled myself and lay down. After all, I was someone who had died once. What was there to be afraid of? As for embarrassment, as long as I wasn't embarrassed, it would be others who were. With the determination to face whatever came, I lay down. "Okay, you can get up now." I lowered my head. "Senior, will the examination results of our company come out together? Can I come and pick them up all at once then?" "Sure. I'll let you know when the results are out." "Okay, thank you." I ran out of the room as if fleeing. Thinking of the truth I saw and heard before I died, I clenched my fists. "Cain, Luna, you both wait for me." As soon as I arrived at the company, I saw Cain and Luna flirting and giggling affectionately in the pantry. So they had hooked up this early. I was such a fool to be kept in the dark before. Good, very good. I sneered in my heart. I would surely make them pay the price. My best friend Luna was good-looking and knew how to flatter people, so she was quite liked by the leaders. But she was just a show-off with no real skills. I was the opposite of her. I was someone who could only do things but not talk much, and often wasn't favored by the leaders in the company. Since Luna liked to show off so much, I'd let her have a good show then. Luna smiled innocently. "Ava, why are you back so late? We were thinking of going to look for you. But you know, I've been so busy here. You won't blame me, will you?" I also replied with a gentle smile. "Of course not. I know the company has been busy recently. How could I blame you?" "Yeah, that's good. By the way, for that previous project, you can hand it over to me. The manager said I should continue with it." Sure enough, just like in the previous life, she came straight to snatch my project. Since she wanted it, I'd just give it to her. "Okay, I'll sort out the materials and hand them all over to you. You have to work hard on the follow-up." Luna nodded cutely with her lips pouted, which made me feel sick. When she walked past me, I saw an evil smile on the corner of her mouth. But she didn't know that only I could handle this project. Anyone else going to negotiate would only mess it up. "Hello, the examination results are out. You can come and pick them up." Ryan's voice was full of magnetism. "Okay, Senior, thank you. I'll be there right away." I turned around to look at Luna's seat. It was empty. "Cain, where did Luna go?" Cain looked impatient. She said she was going to the hospital." My heart skipped a beat. So on this day in the previous life, I wasn't in the company, and it was Luna who went to pick up the examination results. So the plan to harm me must have been designed by Luna and Kane together. No, the examination results mustn't be picked up by Luna. Otherwise, my subsequent plans would be ruined. I was really anxious. Calm down. I had an idea and made a phone call. Hello, Senior Ryan, I want to ask you for a favor. I got straight to the point, and my tone was a bit abrupt. Go ahead. I told Senior Ryan to help me pick up all the examination results, mine and Kane's. Senior Ryan seemed to have expected it and quickly agreed. I thanked him repeatedly, not knowing what else to say. If you really want to thank me, I haven't had lunch yet. Sure. Give me a chance to treat you to lunch. What would you like to eat? My tone was quite cheerful. Grilled fish. I hesitated slightly but quickly agreed. Because grilled fish was exactly what I liked best. Senior Ryan, do you like grilled fish too? Senior Ryan seemed like a different person. His eyes were no longer serious but rather gentle, quite different from how he usually was in the hospital. Yeah, I like it quite a bit. The main thing is that the person I like loves grilled fish. Hearing this, my chopsticks accidentally dropped. I didn't want to be oversensitive or add unnecessary troubles to myself. All I wanted to do now was to take revenge. The only two words in my mind were, take revenge. By the way, Senior, can you give me the examination report? Sure. The senior took out a file from his bag and handed it to me. I took the report, feeling a bit nervous and excited at the same time. I looked at my report. Fortunately, it was just a minor issue, and when I turned to the page about Kane, my eyes lit up immediately. Sure enough, Kane was carrying the human papillomavirus, HPV, that could lead to cervical cancer. I could hardly contain the exuberant joy in my heart. You seem so happy. Then you should eat more. I suddenly looked up and saw Ryan's gentle eyes. Yeah, I'm quite happy. The corners of my mouth couldn't help but curl up. I'm also happy. I read your report without your permission before. Everything is fine, just that you need to exercise more. Don't stay up late and drink more water. Listening to Ryan's nagging, I actually felt a bit warm in my heart. Yeah, I know, Senior. By the way, could you keep the examination results of this report confidential for me? Don't tell anyone else. Ryan didn't ask anything. He just looked at me gently and nodded. If eyes could convey intense emotions like threads, I think I saw that at this moment. Ava, do you know? I've always regretted not telling you one thing earlier. Actually, no way. Is this like getting a cheat code after being reborn? Is the senior going to confess his feelings to me? But I don't want to get involved with men. I only want to focus on my career and get back at those two despicable people. Just when I didn't know how to handle this situation, the phone rang. Ava, come back quickly. Luna has run into some trouble with that project you were handling before. Come and explain it. Kane's voice sounded very anxious, all for Luna. He never seemed to be this worried about me before. Strangely, I felt quite calm in my heart, and also a bit sorry for myself. That project is already under her responsibility. It probably wouldn't be appropriate for me to go there again. I have other things to do. Let's leave it at that. From the other end of the phone, faintly came Luna's sobbing voice, but I just felt disgusted. I hung up the phone directly, feeling extremely satisfied in my heart. As soon as I sat down, I noticed that Ryan's mood was obviously off. He seemed unhappy, but I couldn't figure out what I had done to offend him. Ryan seemed a bit annoyed. Who was on the phone? I don't know why, but I always felt a bit guilty. Kane. Can you promise me one thing? Don't be with him. He'll harm you, you know. Ryan's tone was very firm. I looked up at Ryan in disbelief. He seemed to realize that he had said something inappropriate. Ryan lowered his head weakly. If you must be with him, promise me one thing. Girls should still learn some self-defense skills. I'll teach you. Senior Ryan had a determined look in his eyes, just looking at me without saying another word. Senior, Kane is indeed my boyfriend right now, but don't worry. I'll protect myself. So I'll probably be bothering you a lot in the future. Also, Kane should be getting married soon. Ryan suddenly looked up. I could see the light in his eyes slowly fading away. He seemed to be in pain. Somehow, my heart also ached a bit. I quickly explained, I mean Kane will be getting married to Luna soon. In Ryan's eyes, there seemed to be a glimmer of light again in an instant. We just looked at each other and smiled. After having the meal, when I returned to the company again, the atmosphere in the company was really strange. Ava, why are you back so late? You said before that the negotiation for this project had reached the stage where we could sign the contract. Why did Luna go there and get scolded and sent back? As soon as I sat on my office chair, Kane came over and was about to grab me, throwing a barrage of accusations at me. I unceremoniously knocked his hand away and sneered. Are you questioning me on behalf of Luna? Kane, what kind of identity are you using to say these things to me? You're really concerned about her. People who don't know might think you're her boyfriend. Kane realized that he had gone too far and quickly explained, no, I mean you didn't need to lie before. If this project couldn't be negotiated successfully, you could have just told the truth. Before I could say anything, Luna sobbed delicately, that's right, Ava, just tell the truth. There was no need to lie to all of us and say that we could sign the contract soon. As soon as I went there, I got a severe scolding. Let alone signing the contract, they were very dissatisfied with us. I snorted coldly, they say that in a fight, brothers are united, and on the battlefield, father and son fight side by side. Since when have you two become so close? Luna's face turned red immediately. Kane was also beside her, looking very uncomfortable, as if someone had exposed his secret thoughts. I changed the topic, but it's really strange. I had a great negotiation with the other party before. It was only one step away from signing the contract. So I'm also very curious, Luna, what exactly did you do to make them scold us so angrily? The colleagues' eyes all turned to Luna, and they kept chattering away. I've heard that Luna has always been rather indiscreet. She's been having an affair with manager Mark, and now she's getting all cozy with Ava's boyfriend. Yeah, I've heard that too. This project has always been under Ava's responsibility. It was only one step away from signing the contract. Whoever signs it will get the commission, and it's also related to future promotions. But they let Luna handle it, and she messed it up. Luna glared at me viciously and then crouched on the ground and started crying. It was as if I had bullied her. The people on the scene looked at each other in bewilderment, not knowing why Luna was crying. I looked down at her from above, speaking gently, Luna, why are you crying? The colleagues beside us were also whispering, that's right, how dare she cry, it's like whoever cries is in the right. So shameless. Manager Mark called me into his office and asked me if I could salvage this business deal. I expressed my difficulty. However, I quickly changed the topic and mentioned that the company was about to promote a deputy manager. Manager Mark understood clearly and said that whoever successfully closed this deal would get the position of deputy manager. I quickly said that I would do my best to try. As for whether it would be successful or not, I couldn't guarantee it. After work, I went to buy some things. Kane wanted to stay with Luna because she was so sad today, so he wanted to keep her company. I said I understood and I went to the trouble of cooking several of my specialty dishes for them in the kitchen and also bought several bottles of wine. I saw Kane helping Luna upstairs. The two of them were really affectionate. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say they were a couple head over heels in love. The corners of my mouth curled up slightly as I took out something from my bag. I placed a miniature camera in the room and set an alarm according to my estimation of the time. As soon as Luna entered the room, I hugged her. Luna, don't be sad anymore. Don't worry, you can keep your job. I'll do my best to salvage this order. Luna looked at me with her innocent big eyes, is it true what you said? I patted her back gently to comfort her. Okay, don't think about so many unhappy things. Look, I've cooked so many delicious dishes, all made according to your taste. I sat at the table with them. Kane and Luna really looked like a young couple, sometimes secretly holding hands under the table, sometimes patting each other on the shoulder. The alcohol got to their heads, and their behavior became even more frivolous. Slowly, they became a bit carried away. At this moment, my phone rang. I pretended to pick up my phone and make a call. When I came back, I looked apologetically at Kane, who still had some sense left. I have to go to the company to work overtime. So, please take care of Luna. Under the influence of alcohol, Kane was also not in his right mind. He just nodded, mumbling something like go ahead. The next morning, I deliberately put on a haggard makeup. Looking at some of the scenes on my phone monitor, I just felt nauseous. When I got home and opened the door to the master bedroom, even though I was prepared, I still couldn't help but feel sick to my stomach. Seeing Kane and Luna hugging each other and lying on the big bed I bought, I forced myself to suppress the nauseating discomfort in my heart. I deliberately cleared my throat, and only then did the two of them lazily open their eyes. Luna was lying on Kane's shoulder, looking weak and delicate. Ava, you won't be angry with us, will you? Listen to me. Kane also quickly got dressed and explained. Well, listen to me explain. No, actually, you believe me. I just smiled, watching the two of them make their last-ditch efforts. I'm not angry, and I won't blame you, nor will I not believe you. Kane, I'll believe whatever you say. Are you going to say that you two were just lying on the bed together, chatting, and nothing happened? I believe it, really. The two of them got dressed in a flurry. Seeing that I wasn't angry, they thought I was a coward and wouldn't lose my temper with them. I spoke in a solemn tone. Let's have a talk. First of all, I want to state that everything I say comes from the bottom of my heart, so. I looked at them gently, with what seemed like tears glistening in my eyes. You two should get married. Luna and Kane looked at me in disbelief, as if asking me if I knew what I was saying. Now it was time to show off our acting skills. My voice choked up a bit. I can feel that you two are truly in love. We used to be good friends all the time, even after I got together with Kane. But Luna, you know, he's always liked you. So as the saying goes, true lovers will eventually be united. So I wish you two well, sincerely. Every word was sincere and touching. I almost believed it myself. I know Luna. She just likes to steal things from others secretly. If it's given to her openly like this, she might not even like it anymore. However, as soon as Kane heard me say this, his eyes lit up. Luna still wanted to decline, but I was the first to speak. You two think it over carefully. During this period, I'll temporarily move out of here and live in my small house. You two can live in this big house. Before Luna could react, I gave Kane a look and then quickly left. Kane's mind was all on Luna, and he was very slack in his work, and I also gave Kane some advice on how to propose to Luna. It was just that Luna had been refusing Kane's proposals until an accident happened. Thanks to Kane's unremitting efforts, Luna finally got pregnant. They were lucky in love but unlucky in their careers, because Kane had been slack in his work all along. When the company was optimizing its staff, he was naturally laid off. Luna was even transferred to a rather unimportant position because she failed to finalize the previous order. However, I was thriving in my career. Thanks to my efforts, the previous order was finally signed. Naturally, I was promoted to deputy manager. Actually, Mark, who signed this order, was a person who was very fond of the tea ceremony. Since I was a child, I had been influenced by my grandparents. They had profound insights into the tea ceremony, and I was also influenced by them. My insights into the tea ceremony were highly appreciated by Mark, so signing the contract was a piece of cake. Moreover, Mark was a straightforward person. What he hated most was something convoluted, and Luna happened to be such a person. Luna was simply stepping on Mark's toes. It would be strange if she could succeed. Luna thought she was shrewd and capable, but Mark had been traveling around for so many years. He had seen all kinds of people. Luna's tricks were simply like a monkey show in his eyes. Luna's belly was gradually getting bigger. She knew she couldn't delay any longer, so she reluctantly agreed to Kane's proposal, and Kane had always been a person who lived for the moment. He didn't have any savings at all, so he shamelessly came to me. I was still as understanding as ever. I told him not to worry. As the future godmother of the child, I would surely offer the greatest financial support. Kane excitedly held my hand. Ava, I'm really so grateful to you. Actually, you know, I've always had you in my heart. You. Hearing him say this, I just felt disgusted and quickly stopped him. Kane, you'd better go back quickly. Luna is pregnant and it's not convenient for her now. Don't say such things anymore in the future. Watching Kane's leaving figure, I was secretly calculating the time in my mind. Just now Kane said that he was in financial straits and had cut down on smoking and drinking. How could that be okay? I immediately bought some high-quality cigarettes and alcohol and had them delivered to his place. Since he was sick, he should drink more and smoke more so that he could die earlier. However, something unexpected happened. That day when I got home, I felt that there was someone in the house. At first, I wanted to just leave and call the police, but then I remembered that I had learned some self-defense skills from my senior before. Besides, it was still daytime. I don't know where I got the courage from, but I actually went to the kitchen to get a knife and was ready to take on the intruder by myself. Don't move. I suddenly kicked open the door of the master bedroom and pointed the knife at the person inside. However, the person standing in front of me was actually Kane. Seeing Kane holding a report in his hand, my hand couldn't help trembling. When Kane saw that it was me, his eyes were fierce. I found out from the last physical examination report that I was carrying the human papillomavirus, HPV, that could lead to cervical cancer. Why didn't you tell me about it? I pretended to be calm. I did want to tell you, but things happened all at once that day. And later you went to bed with Luna. How could I have the chance to tell you? I saw Kane walking towards me step by step. I couldn't help but start to back away and tighten my grip on the knife. Kane shouted loudly, "You just want to kill me, right?" Hearing this, I sneered. Kane, if you had seen this report first and I knew nothing about it, what would you have done? Kane was stunned by my question. The memories of my past life flooded into my mind. Kane, you would surely have proposed to me first. And after we got married, you would have bought me a huge insurance policy. Right? My tone was affirmative and brooked no doubt. In my past life, I was so silly that I thought it was because he loved me. But the truth was that that insurance policy was the catalyst to speed up my death. In my past life, when I felt unwell and wanted to go to the hospital, Kane always accompanied me. No matter how urgent the work matters were, he would put them aside for me. Everyone said that I was lucky to have a husband who knew how to love and care for me. Ironically, at that time, I thought he loved and cared about me. However, the truth was that he deceived me, saying that there was nothing wrong with me. Until finally, when I knew about my condition, it was already the late stage of cervical cancer. And what about him? He pretended to take good care of me wholeheartedly, winning the praise of everyone. In fact, he and Luna were looking forward to my early death all day long. I was also deceived by his excellent acting skills. It was not until I accidentally saw Kane and Luna together in an improper way and heard what they said that I knew the truth. My little darling, you're so smart. Let her deteriorate slowly on her own. Kane was looking very pleased with himself, affectionately caressing Luna's cheek. Of course. She'll never know until she dies that it was you who infected her. Luna giggled coquettishly, her face beaming with joy. Looking at her like this, she probably won't last long. I was secretly taking medicine to treat myself before, and she almost found out. Fortunately, my devoted lover persona didn't collapse, so she didn't suspect anything. At that moment, it felt like 1,000 arrows piercing my heart. I burst into the room and questioned them, asking how they could be so shameless. However, they locked me in the room instead, completely cutting off my contact with the outside world until I was driven to death by anger. They lived a carefree life with the insurance money they got from my life. Kane's expression had already told me everything. He couldn't imagine why I could expose all his schemes in his mind. Kane's expression was extremely distorted. He rushed forward to hit me. Fortunately, I had learned some self-defense skills from my senior. I directly threw him over my shoulder and he landed on the ground. I looked at him sideways, waving the knife in my hand. Kane, I advise you to be sensible. Leave immediately, or else I won't help you plan your wedding. After all, he was a dying man, and I didn't want to risk my life with him. Kane, if you leave now, I won't say anything, and I won't call the police either. Otherwise, you know what will happen. Kane looked dejected. He dragged his feet and slowly walked to the door. I quickly closed the door and locked it. The house I was living in now was rented together by Kane and me when we were together. He had always kept a spare key. It seemed that I needed to move to another place. I wondered how Kane would deal with Luna. I thought that for such an extremely selfish person like him, the person he loved the most should still be himself. Kane had set up an extremely luxurious and romantic proposal scene downstairs. The colleagues in the company had always thought that Kane and I were still together. Everyone unknowingly pushed me forward, and I was bound to make them the center of attention. I think everyone has got it wrong. I looked in Luna's direction with gentle eyes and took her hand. I deliberately raised my voice. Luna, you must be careful. You're not alone now. Luna stared at me. I pretended that I had accidentally said something wrong. Oh dear, Luna, you won't be angry with me, will you? You know me. I said it accidentally. We're all friends here. There's nothing to be embarrassed about since you're pregnant. As soon as I said this, there was a commotion in the crowd. No one knew who Luna's boyfriend was. Suddenly finding out that she was pregnant was like setting off a bombshell. Could it be Manager Marks? I heard that she had always been having an affair with the leader. I deliberately cleared my throat. Everyone, don't get it wrong. Luna, Kane and I have always been good friends. Today, I'd like to announce something here, which is that Kane and I have broken up peacefully. Everyone knew that I had always been extremely patient and accommodating towards Luna in the company. I deliberately took a deep breath. Now Luna and Kane are in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Sure enough, the colleagues started whispering again. Could it be that Luna is a mistress, stealing Ava's boyfriend, getting pregnant, and forcing Ava to let them be together? That's the truth. The corners of my mouth couldn't help rising, but I forced them down. Kane, what are you waiting for? Hurry up. I gave Kane a look, urging him to get on with it. There were tears in the corners of my eyes, and I couldn't suppress my excitement. Finally, I was going to lock them together. I was so happy. But to the colleagues, it seemed that I was being forbearing and had suffered great injustice. At the same time, they pulled me into the crowd and comforted me. I just nodded. I had already expected Kane to do this. I was really looking forward to seeing the wonderful scene of Luna and Kane turning on each other. However, just at this moment, an unexpected visitor barged in, bringing me an unexpected joy. You slut! I'll beat you to death. A plump woman walked up to Luna. Before we could react, there was a loud slap sound, and the scene immediately fell silent. Luna was stunned by the slap. Her eyes instantly turned red, and she stammered, "Who are you? Why did you hit me?" Hearing this, the woman snorted coldly. "I'm Manager Mark's wife. Who do you think I am? Do you think I have the right to hit you? I'll beat you to death, you little vixen. Seducing other people's husbands." The woman then slapped Luna several times with both hands, and Luna's face swelled up a lot in an instant. I was cheering for the woman in my heart, but I couldn't just keep watching. I had to bite the bullet and walk up. The woman was about to kick Luna in the stomach, but I quickly grabbed her. "Sister, she's pregnant. You can't hit her stomach." I winked at the woman, and she immediately understood what I meant. "You little slut, and you're even pregnant. If I can't hit your stomach, I can still hit your face." With that, she yanked Luna's head over. Luna tried to fight back, but in the face of absolute strength, she was like a helpless little chick, completely pinned down. Throughout all this, Kane didn't even move a muscle. It seemed as if everything had nothing to do with him. What a cold-hearted man. I pretended to be pulling the two of them apart, but actually, I was secretly helping the woman. Luna took a lot of hidden losses. Looking at Luna's face, which was black and blue all over, she could go on stage and perform a good show without even needing to put on any makeup. I couldn't help but laugh to myself, and the deep resentment in my heart dissipated a little, but not enough. Beep beep, someone had called the police. I quickly grabbed the woman and gave her a look. I whispered, "The police are coming. Stop hitting." The woman was quite smart. She took the opportunity to sit on the ground, as if it hadn't been a one-sided beating just now but an evenly matched fight. I secretly admired her in my heart. I'll have to learn this trick in the future. Luna cried pitifully to the police officer for help. Look what she's done to me. Woo-woo. The woman on the ground wasn't going to show any weakness either. You have to investigate this clearly. This woman seduced a married man. Don't you think this is corrupting social morals? I'm just getting rid of a pest for society. In ancient times, people like her would be drowned in a pig cage. Besides, I got hit too. Ouch. There was no way around it. The police took all of us away. In the car, Luna kept complaining to Kane that he didn't help her. Kane had a helpless look on his face. Luna, it's a matter between you two women. As a man, it's not appropriate for me to hit her. Listening to him, you'd think he was some kind of upright gentleman. In fact, he's just a selfish and shameless scoundrel. I cursed him in my heart. I was really blind to have fallen for such a scumbag. When Luna heard this, her temper flared up immediately. She was just about to question him when she was stopped by the look in the police officer's eyes. I was quickly released from the police station. It was just pitiful for Luna, who was pregnant and still arguing endlessly with manager Mark's wife. Neither of them would give in, both claiming that it was the other's fault. Even an upright official finds it hard to settle family disputes. The police had already had their lunch, but the two of them still refused to budge an inch, demanding that the other apologize to them. In the end, Luna couldn't out-argue the other woman and had to admit her mistake. Luna hurried to the hospital to have her body checked. I followed her considerately. I was afraid that she might discover something in advance. I had to make sure that when she was diagnosed, it was already the late stage of cervical cancer. I also wanted her to be extremely grateful to me. They say that to truly destroy a person, you have to break their spirit. I was really looking forward to seeing her expression when she learned the truth. The farce of the proposal came to a successful end in the hospital. Kane bombarded her with sweet nothings, and finally, Luna let down her guard and agreed to his proposal. Listening to Kane's affectionate confession, I just felt nauseous. Luna looked coquettish and was full of pride. Ava, I'm really grateful to you for making this happen for us. You know, you hold an important place in my heart. Don't let this affect our friendship. Looking at Luna's delicate and coy appearance, I really wanted to slap her hard. Stop pretending to be so nice. But I held myself back. Because I was going to deal her a fatal blow. The corners of my mouth turned up. Of course not. Congratulations, Luna. You got what you wanted. I'm truly happy for you from the bottom of my heart. How could I not be happy? You're not far from your death soon, and you're still looking so pleased with yourself. Just as Luna was happily enjoying the nourishment of love, the company's internal group exploded. The video of Luna being beaten went viral. There were nothing but insults towards Luna below it. It was really unbearable to look at. This is what a mistress deserves. There's actually someone willing to take on such a woman. I really admire this guy. I heard the woman is pregnant. I kind of feel like this guy is being cuckolded. Ha ha ha, none of them are good. This woman stole her best friend's boyfriend, and this man isn't any better. A pair of adulterers, and I also left a comment quietly below. Luna became famous this time. Because of her, our company also trended on the hot search. The pressure of public opinion hit the company, and the company's senior management immediately fired Luna. I watched as Luna's face changed from rosy to blue and purple, finally looking like a color palette. It was quite a sight. Luna sobbed softly. Ava, I can only rely on you now. You can't abandon me. We both don't have jobs now. Luna slowly stroked her barely noticeable pregnant belly. This will be your godson. We can only rely on you to support us. I sneered in my heart but remained calm on the surface. Don't worry. Kane should still be able to afford to support you with a meal. It's not my turn. I have things to do at the company. I'll leave first. Before Luna could react, I left. If nothing unexpected happens, there's another big drama waiting for Luna soon. As soon as I walked out of the hospital, I saw a large number of news reporters pouring in. Sure enough, my comment had worked. I just commented that I saw Luna at Anshin Hospital. But the speed was really fast. All the media rushed here like a swarm of bees. Some media even did a live broadcast on the spot, with the camera pointed directly at Kane and Luna. Mr. Kane, it's said that while you had a girlfriend, you hooked up with Luna. Now you even have a child. What do you have to say about this? Ms. Luna, you slept with your best friend's boyfriend directly and also had an affair with your married boss. You were beaten up by the boss's wife at the company entrance. What do you have to say about this? By the way, Ms. Luna, are you sure the child in your stomach is Mr. Kane's? Or are you not sure whose it is exactly? Mr. Kane, do you have any doubts about marrying Ms. Luna? After all, during this period, Ms. Luna might have had relationships with others. Are you worried about raising someone else's child? Luna and Kane kept covering their faces with their hands and trying to break through the crowd. But unfortunately, the strength of the two of them was really too weak. Luna hid directly in the women's toilet and didn't dare to come out. Kane also wanted to go in, but because of his concern for his face, he didn't follow. Someone tripped Kane, and a few people even kicked him. The scene was in chaos. When Kane was helped up, he was covered in bruises all over his body, and his face looked even more mottled and interesting. Looking at the media reporters chasing and surrounding them and the in a sorry plight appearance of Kane and Luna, I felt even more satisfied. Soon, Luna was about to receive her fatal blow. Due to her unstable emotions, Luna finally lost the baby. That day, Luna bled profusely and almost died on the operating table. However, this incident went viral and immediately stirred up a hornet's nest. People have an intense hatred for mistresses. Luna was like a rat crossing the street, being shouted at by everyone. Those who become mistresses and try to take over others' positions will come to no good end. Consequently, she became depressed and looked even more haggard. After just a few days of not seeing her, she seemed to have aged more than 10 years and was like a completely different person. But the smile on Kane's face grew even wider, as if he was even happier to see Luna in such a state. And I also heard some rumors. Some people said that they always saw Kane going in and out of hotels with different women. Kane seemed to be celebrating in advance. He had no self-control in his life and was constantly smoking and drinking. Luna couldn't help but argue with him, but it was all in vain. Finally, she couldn't take it anymore and called me woo-woo. Ava, I'm sick. Kane infected me. Hearing this, my heart skipped a beat. Could it be that Luna had discovered Kane's illness? I calmed myself down. What's wrong with you? Luna calmed her emotions. I might be dying. Kane has been taking medicine all the time. I saw it was something about cancer or something. I'm a bit scared. Can you accompany me to the hospital tomorrow? I replied casually. Come on, Luna, don't scare yourself. I have something really important tomorrow. I can't accompany you, but I'll ask someone I know to help you. Don't worry. I have things to do. Let's leave it at that. Before Luna could react, I had already hung up the phone. I quickly dialed another number. I asked Senior Ryan to help take care of Luna soon. The examination results came out. Senior Ryan, have Luna's examination results come out? I was a bit nervous. Yeah, she has some problems, but they're not too serious. I sighed. Okay, I'll go and pick them up. Not serious? Well, I can make it more serious for her. Luna, what happened to you? Luna's hair was in a mess, her eyes were full of bloodshot, and she had lost a lot of weight. It seemed that she didn't have much time left. Luna started crying, woo-woo, with snot and tears all over her face. I felt a bit disgusted and sat opposite her. Looking at her current state, I considerately took out the examination results. Here, have a look at this. Luna hesitated. I don't want to look. Just tell me. I sighed. Luna, I never expected you would get this kind of disease. You've always been so careful. How could this happen? Luna's eyes suddenly widened. She took the examination results with trembling hands. How could this be? Late-stage cervical cancer? I've been so careful. I pretended to hold back what I wanted to say. Luna quickly grabbed my hand. Ava, do you know something? At a time like this, can't you tell me the truth? I sighed as if I had made a big decision. Well, my senior told me about something. He had a male patient who was carrying the human papillomavirus, HPV, that could lead to cervical cancer before, but guess what? I deliberately left her in suspense. Seeing Luna's impatient look, I continued like teasing a little dog. The man was fine, but his first wife died of cervical cancer. What's worse, his second wife also died a few years later, also of cervical cancer. Looking at Luna's face turning paler and paler, I thought she looked quite interesting. I was just saying. I have things to do. I'll leave first, and I'll take this examination result away so as not to affect your mood. Before Luna could react, I grabbed the examination report and left. As soon as I got downstairs, I saw Kane, drunk as a skunk. When he saw me, he wanted to lean on me, but I nimbly dodged. Kane fell down. I watched coldly. Kane, go back and see Luna. She's not in a good mood. Take better care of her. Without helping him up, I left. I was really looking forward to the next part of their story. Getting into the car, I opened my phone. Kane was lying on the bed like a dead pig. Luna was like a fury, holding a knife and slashing at Kane's vital parts. Even through the screen, I could feel Luna's overwhelming hatred and Kane's agonizing pain, as if he were better off dead, but I just felt a sense of satisfaction. I accompanied Luna to send Kane to the hospital. Luna was like a wooden figure, just sitting there blankly. I quickly went to their home and put the hidden camera I had placed before into my bag. When Kane woke up, he couldn't face the fact that he was already a eunuch. Luna, you venomous woman, go and wait for death in prison. Kane, you scoundrel, why did I ever get together with you? I got sick because of you. Even if I'm doomed, I'll take you with me. Watching these two loathsome people attacking and cursing each other, I just felt great. However, it wasn't easy to send Luna to prison, but I would give Kane a helping hand. I anonymously sent Kane the video of Luna cutting him with a knife and turning him into a eunuch. With my help, Luna was successfully sent to prison. Watching Kane's smug look, I found it funny and turned on the recording function of my phone to Kane. Luna was just impulsive. Do you really have to be so heartless? Kane sneered. Luna, that slut, should just die. If it weren't for the fact that she still had some value, I really would have killed her. Are you talking about the insurance policy you bought for her? I asked even though I already knew the answer. Kane looked smug. That slut got sick. It's really the will of heaven. Consider it as what she owed me. I deserve it all. I just smiled and didn't reply. Luna, are you okay? I didn't really want to let you hear this recording, but I just couldn't bear to keep you in the dark. Luna was smashing the glass crazily. It's all Kane's fault. I'm almost dying, and he still wants to profit from me. He's dreaming. Anyway, I'll die sooner or later. Ava, I just feel so sorry for you. I comforted her with words, my eyes full of what seemed like concern, but in my heart, I was celebrating with fireworks. I knew that Luna had gone crazy at this moment. How could she let Kane have his way? I knew that by letting Luna hear that recording, I had completely pushed her into the underworld. Sure enough, on the second day after I visited Luna, I received news about her. Luna was dead. She committed suicide. This way, Kane couldn't get the insurance compensation. Luna chose a good time. It seemed that she had consulted a lawyer too. If a person commits suicide within 2 years, the insurance company won't pay the claim. I looked at Luna's tombstone and slowly took out 2 examination results from my bag. Luna, look, what's this? Your examination report. Well, never mind. I'll just tell you. Actually, your illness wasn't that serious. Don't you forget that I'm really good at forging things, let alone an examination report. Let's not go into details. If you had cooperated with the treatment properly, you probably could have lived another 20 or 30 years without a problem. But you just ended your own life like this. Debts from the past life should be repaid in this life. This is what you two owed me. When Kane got the news, he was almost driven mad with anger. The money was gone, the person was gone, and he himself had become a eunuch. I deliberately spread Kane's story on a large scale. Finally, some people who claimed to be defenders of justice broke his legs. Kane was completely disabled. He didn't even have a leg left. Watching him grovel like a stray dog, I would also buy him some food, just like how I would treat those stray cats and dogs on the street. Both Luna and Kane got what they deserved. Suddenly, I didn't know what to do next. Suddenly, a person appeared in front of me, smiling at me. Senior Ryan.